Hello, beautiful beings. I'm Mama Belle from Mama Belle's Tarot. Welcome to my channel. Tonight, I'll be doing a mind, body, soul reading for Libra. The messages in this reading are for any part of your chart in this sign, with special emphasis on sun, moon, and rising. Before we get started, I wanted to take a moment to say that this is a general reading and not meant as advice of any professional sort, including but not limited to medical or legal advice. Most importantly, I would like to say thank you for clicking here. If any of this reading resonates, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Now on to the reading. Hi, Libra. We are going to be starting with the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. I still have a cold, by the way. Well, I don't have the cold so much as I still have the cough. The cough hasn't gone away yet. Not entirely. We're going to get a card for the mind, the body, and the soul, as well as a card for the overall theme of the message. And then we're going to take a look at the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck for me is advice going forward. So one more shuffle, and then we'll get going. Okay. Let's get a stand there. Okay, what does Libra... Okay, that was quick. So for the mind, you have the Five of Swords. All right, what does Libra need to know in regards to their body? What does Libra need to know in regards to their body? What message is there? Whoop, that is like 6 cards. What message does Libra need to know for their body? Okay. The 8 and the 9 of Swords. So we have a lot of swords and a lot of purple so far. So a lot of like third eye chakra going on, as well as a lot of mental stuff. Okay. What does Libra need to know in regards to the soul? What does Libra need to know in regards to their soul? 4 of Pentacles. Okay. What's the overall theme? The Magician. Okay. I like that. Okay. And the advice going forward. 3 of Cups. All right, let's get started. So before we really dive into each specific card, I do want to say that swords are also like representative of air. And there's also another sword on the Magician card. So this could be you could be actually really feeling that you are in alignment with who you are, in the sense that Libra is an air sign and you have a lot of air cards going on, even though they're not necessarily like the happiest of cards. You might be feeling at home, so to speak. Okay, so for the mind, you have the 5 of Swords, which is kind of funny because this kind of represents mental conflict. So right now it feels like you are really trying to decide, is this worth fighting over? Is my mental health worth fighting for? And again, I am not a medical professional. I am like, this is not medical advice. This is a general reading. If you feel that you need help, I highly recommend going and seeking professional help. There's nothing wrong with that. But you could be deciding if something is worth your mental health. And unfortunately, you're the only one that can decide this. That's one of the downsides to society. And you can get all the advice you want, but at the end of the day, you're the one that has to make that decision. And to me, this feels like you are making the decision to try and figure out, if something is worth it for you anymore. If there are things really contributing to a lack of mental well-being, is this temporary or is this ongoing? If it's ongoing, can you fix it? Can you find some sort of resolution? And if not, are there ways to better support yourself so it doesn't cause so much mental conflict? You have to decide at the end of the day whether or not something is worth it to you. And this doesn't mean it's a yes, and this doesn't mean it's a no. This means that you have to take time to be honest with yourself and really debate this, whether or not it's okay, well, I'm frustrated at work, or I'm frustrated in my relationship, or I'm frustrated with my family or my friends. You have to weigh those pros and cons, and you have to figure out if there's resolution or not. You have to figure that out. But the first thing you have to do is acknowledge that there is just too much stress there, too much conflict for you to be dealing with on a constant basis. And that you have to be the one to pull yourself out of this. Because unfortunately, no one can make anyone else do anything else, which is kind of a good thing. I'm really grateful for that some days. But no one can decide this for you. No one can make you do anything, and you can't make others do anything. So just take a good, honest look and see if there's a way to find resolution and go forward from there. For the body, you have the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. And what I do want to say is that there is a progression going on. 5 comes before 8, and 8 is directly before 9. So you have 8 and 9 right here. You also have 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. So you're just missing just a few numbers. Missing 6, 7, and 10. I mean, obviously the ones before 3, but actually, no, you have 1. You're missing 2, 6, 7, 10. You're missing 4 numbers. This is almost entirely in order. And on an overall note, that does feel like you are making progress in whatever it is you're trying to make progress in. Whether it's your mental health, your body, your soul, any of it, it does feel like there's progression happening. It may not feel like it, especially with all these swords and kind of really tense feeling cards. But you also have some really good cards here. So in the body, it feels like you're feeling like you're really stuck in some sort of situation and that you can't get out of it, that you just keep reliving this nightmare over and over and over, and you don't know how to get out. But whatever this is, you have the Magician here in your reading. You have the tools to create anything, literally anything. And it means that you can find resolution to these problems you have. You just have to use the right tool and take a good look at it. And remind yourself that whatever this is that you're stuck in isn't permanent. It also feels like because of this card in particular, it feels really like sleep related. Like maybe you're not getting enough rest. And again, we'll just go over it again. Not medical advice. This is just what it feels like. And this might mean that you need to create routine for yourself so you can get better sleep. You need to let go of mental conflict so you can get the better sleep, so you can rest your body in the way that you're supposed to. For the soul, you have the Four of Pentacles, and this can be holding on too tight. You have 4, and Pentacles can be different opportunities, but it might be that you're holding on to something too tightly, an opportunity just too tight. You're strangling it so it can't grow. You've put too much on top of it. Kind of like how these suitcases are on the grass. If it's there for a moment, it's not so bad. You haven't strangled it. You haven't suffocated the grass. You haven't stopped the growth. However, if you have ever had like one of those blow up pools or a tarp that you've put down for a while, if it stays there too long, the grass underneath doesn't always grow. It creates this patch. And to me, what I'm getting is that your soul is asking you to let something breathe for a minute. Trust that if it's meant for you, it will stay and it will grow and it will flourish, but you have to give it the space it needs to actually do that. But it feels like your heart and soul might be just a little bit scared to let that happen because you really care about whatever this is. So just remember that allowing something to grow is beneficial for everybody involved. The overall theme of the message is the Magician, and we've already touched on it, but this is literally every single tool as well as a couple infinity symbols. So this says that you are infinitely magical, you are infinitely powerful, and you can create anything. Just remember to use the tool you need to make something happen. You are magical, and that's the theme of this message. For the advice going forward, you have the Three of Cups. To me, this set, and this is also more purple. A lot more purple. There's a little more purple there too, but not a whole lot. As like there is some in the Magician, but not like the background is entirely purple, basically. But this is the Three of Cups. This is about celebrating. This is about getting together with people that love you, that you love, and remembering not to take every moment of life so seriously. There's so much room for joy and happiness and creativity. Don't let it pass you by. Try to make sure that this is everything that I'm feeling from the card before I set it down, because I have this habit of not really being finished with a card before I set it down and then ending up having to pick it back up. So yeah, essentially remember that your people are here for you and go out and find them. Go have a good time. Celebrate together. Remember that you are so loved by the people that you love. And that's beautiful. Reciprocal energy. So now let's get a card from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck, which is also by Chris Ann. I'll be reading directly out of the guidebook for this. There's going to be an essential meaning, which is as if you get it in the upright, as well as a self-care message, which is as if you get it in the reverse. I'm going to read both, and the message that is meant for you will resonate. So let's shuffle. Okay. What does Libra need to hear? Okay. Get back to elemental. Card number 48. Funny enough, that really reminds me of the magician. Like all those elements that are on that card is literally like saying the basics. The basics are right here. That's the very first card after the Fool. Okay. What was it, 48? I don't know that I've gotten this card before. We'll find out. Card number 48. Get back to elemental. Essential meanings. A time to bring some elemental magic into your life. Getting outside, doing something witchy or wild, letting go of who you believe you have to be, stepping into your elemental self. Self-care message. Breaking free of pragmatism and logic. A time to explore the world with a childlike curiosity. Getting past the fear of change and the fear of trying new things. The elements in most magic circles are earth, fire, air, water, and spirit. And these elements create all matter in life. It's time to break things down into their simplest elements and to get back to your roots. What are the basics of what you're building? If you're a seasoned creator, what was your original plan or your original dream? There's a likelihood that you've grown since you began your journey, and it may be time to shift your plans so that they make more sense for you now. Get back to the basics of exploring the world like a child and seeing things anew. Fresh eyes will offer you a fresh perspective, and when you break things down into their most basic parts, you can put them back together again in novel ways. Take another look at what you're already doing and what you've already done, and take special notice of the magic that you already have access to. It may be time to cut any extra drama, networking, and extracurriculars that aren't 100% aligned with your basics, and call in the elementals as you get back to your own kind of elemental. What quintessential desire runs through everything that you do, and what always remains the same? When you think of the magic available to you in fire, water, earth, air, and spirit, what comes up for you under each element? Write a list. When it's done, can you see how your list can help you understand your next steps? How could elemental energies inspire you? How could you bring more fire into your life? Or air, water, earth? I have not seen that card before, but I really like it. It really felt connected to that. This is sort of the basics of the tools. This is the basics of what you have to work with. I really love this reading. I hope that this message resonated with you. If it did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, as well as share with those you feel it may also resonate. Again, thank you so much for clicking here. I hope this month brings you health, wealth, happiness, clarity, passion, and alignment. With so much love, I'm Mama Belle, and I look forward to doing your next reading.